We'll get a small break from the breeze as we head into the night, but it's going to be a temporary break at that. Lows fall into the 30s as well. A bit of a chilly night out there, especially east river with lows right around freezing. But then we get ready for milder temperatures to start to build back into the area for Wednesday. 60s, some 70s out to the west. And while it's largely calmer to the east, another windy day out west. But everybody gets in on more wind as we head toward the end of the week and the weekend, along with the chance for some active weather. We'll talk about that coming up. First to 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, first at 4.
Coming up, several inmates are facing charges following an incident at the South Dakota State Prison.
Plus, a big honor for a researcher with Sanford Health. How she's being recognized for her work as a trailblazing woman coming up. And an effort to ban book bans. Look at the proposal in Minnesota just ahead. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen. And I'm Kelly Volk. 11 inmates are going to face criminal charges in the wake of disturbances late last month at the South Dakota State Penitentiary in Sioux Falls. Today, South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley provided an update on the investigation.
I'll just say the reason I've used the word disturbance, from our investigation, what I've reviewed, prison officials never lost control, that they had always maintained control.
And KELOLAND's Dan Santello will have a closer look at the investigation and the charges tonight at 6. A man who recently appeared on the ballot for the Sioux Falls city election is now charged with aggravated assault and interfering with emergency communication. Court documents say 62-year-old David Zakaitis attempted to strangle a woman and then tried to prevent her from getting help. According to the police log, it started as a report of a family dispute at 5 o'clock last night. He was booked into jail around 7:30 last night. He appeared in court this afternoon and will be released without having to pay bond. He cannot have contact with the alleged victim. Well, you might notice some smoke in southeast Sioux Falls tomorrow. That's because Fire Rescue will be conducting a prescribed burn at Pasley Park. The fire will help clear weeds and promote native prairie restoration. It is scheduled for 11 a.m. and then will wrap up by 5 p.m. The park and trail will remain open during the burn. Good thing they're not trying that today with these winds. Yeah, it's the same story again, Adam.
It's basically Groundhog Day in terms of wind. Every day, basically, we are dealing with some pretty blustery conditions, whether it's on one side of the river or the other, or in a case like today, it's been both. We're going to have more opportunities for that as we head through the second half of the week. But at least we have sunshine. We do have that working in our favor. 66 degrees with some fair weather clouds over downtown Sioux Falls. 66 with a northwest wind, however, at 19 miles per hour. And it has been a little on the windy side over the course of your day. Fair weather clouds over and east of the James River Valley, but beyond that, you just head out to the hills, a little bit of that as well, west of Rapid City towards Spearfish and Belle-Fourche, but that's really the only blemish to an otherwise very nice day to be outside, at least in terms of what we get from the skies above us. Of course, it's been pretty windy. 63 is your number right now for Chamberlain, Mitchell, and Yankton. We're at 59 for Watertown and Brookings, 61 Aberdeen and Rapid City, 64 Pierre and Mulbridge, and that is a little bit cooler compared to yesterday, where we were able to get into the 70s by a pretty healthy margin. Now, though, anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees cooler in many locations, but we're going to go the other way as we head into Wednesday and then Thursday and Friday as well. But beyond the wind, there hasn't been much else to talk about today. The closest bit of moisture is way off to our east over the Great Lakes and eastern portions of Canada. But we do have our own rain to keep an eye on, and it's going to come with a little bit else to go along with it. Tomorrow, though, not one of those days. We actually get a break from the wind in southeastern KELOLAND for Wednesday. 60s to the upper 60s, even near 70 farther west of Mitchell you go. Meanwhile, up to the northeast, mid-60s as well. A few more clouds, a bit more of a breeze, but still, again, not as bad as what we're going to be seeing out west. Yes, it'll be warmer west river, upper 60s and low 70s in many locations, but they're also going to have to deal with another rather windy day. Then all eyes go to the end of the week. We'll have updates on that and the rest of your 7-day forecast as we head through the hour.
Thanks, Adam. At a time when book bans have soared to their highest levels in decades, a counter trend is emerging. Minnesota is one of several states across the country that are actively considering varying degrees of prohibitions on book bans.
And if we're trying to essentially raise young adults who are people who drive and work and vote, saying that they can't learn about things like racism and sexual assault isn't protecting them, it's harming them in the long run because they have less information to go off of when interacting with the real world around them.
Activists say books by LGBTQ+ and authors of color are among those most frequently banned. Conservative parents argue that the books are too sexually explicit or otherwise controversial and are inappropriate, especially for younger readers.
A cancer survivor in Minnesota is sharing her story about the power of prevention and persistence. Cancer cases are on the rise in younger adults, and while the median age for cancer diagnosis is 66, early onset cancer is up in patients under 50 years old, many without typical risk factors. Derek James reports.
Hey, Amy, good morning.
Good morning. People will tell you that if it hurts, it's not cancer, but that was not true in my case.
Amy KELOLAND is a two-time cancer survivor. In 2006, she noticed a spot in her mouth. A few months later, she brought it up to her dentist, who thought it was just gum disease, as she didn't have the typical risk factors like age, smoking, or drinking.
It started to get bigger and painful.
After 2 dental checkups over a year's time, she was referred to a specialist.
I was sent then to an oral surgeon, and she said, "This is not cancer."
A biopsy said otherwise. KELOLAND then turned to Dr. Kadamani.
She has a typical story that we see with many of our patients where she saw multiple practitioners, she knew that something was wrong, but there was a significant amount of time where she had a delay in diagnosis.
Dr. Kadamani was able to remove the cancerous part of KELOLAND's jawbone when it was still at an early stage. Her advocacy led to a better outcome than many. Head and neck cancers are diagnosed in late stages 50% of the time. Because of that, Dr. Kadamani established the Head and Neck Cancer Foundation in 2020. The foundation is providing free screenings across the state this month.
We only have about 60% of the U.S. population that regularly sees the dentist. So for people that don't have access to care or don't have frequent dental exams, this would be a great way to get screened.
69% of adults are behind on at least one routine cancer screening, according to a survey by the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Health providers across Minnesota are working to spread awareness of early detection and make various screenings accessible to everyone. Along with the Head and Neck Cancer Foundation screenings, Allina Health is now scheduling for free skin cancer screenings for Melanoma Monday on May 6th. mHealth Fairview provides free colonoscopies for uninsured or underinsured Minnesotans. And the SAGE program by the Minnesota Department of Health provides free breast and cervical cancer screening to eligible women. KELOLAND says the key to surviving is taking action early and often.
You know your body and what is not normal for you, and so advocating is really important. Catching this early saved my life, 100%.
And one of the top reasons for being behind on cancer screenings, people simply didn't know they needed to be screened, pointing to a need for more education and awareness.
A researcher with Sanford Health is being recognized for her work as a trailblazing woman. Dr. Pilar de la Puente was recently named an American Cancer Society Research Her Scholar. She says the honor means a lot because she hopes to be the type of role model she wanted growing up.
If you want to be a scientist, don't feel afraid to email. I sometimes get emails from high schoolers and they melt my day. Like, oh my goodness, yes, I would love to talk to you and help you out with something.
Right now, her lab, made up of all women, is researching ways to detect ovarian cancer early. KELOLAND's Lauren Solek will tell us more about that work coming up on KELOLAND News at 6.